Hi, welcome back, friends. I'm so excited to talk about today's topic. So, I'm in a series of beauty, but what does that say about fueling our bodies, moving our bodies, and then next week's final on just outward, which is what that's about, makeup and skincare. But today, we're talking about movement, exercise. Yeah, I know. Don't go anywhere. I promise it's going to be about three things: fun, scheduling, and stretching. Sounds interesting? Keep watching.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Okay, so I usually talk about makeup and skincare. If you don't know, my name is Lisa. This is Beauty from Inside and Out. But I thought, this is being January. If you didn't catch my video last week, go back and watch this after this one. It's just all about fueling our bodies, some tips on trying to help you get that kind of in focus. But today we're going to talk a little bit about movement, activity. I hate the word exercise because we really all should be moving. I mean, something that our bodies are just in need of just moving our bodies. You know what's funny? Something as simple as not even getting out of the bed. Pay attention to this. Truly, just put it to a test. Sometimes you don't feel like you've got to have, and I'm going to get a little personal here, but even a bowel movement, right? But the minute you get up from your bed and start walking around, what does your body tend to signal? If you're eating the right way, if you're fueling your body the right way, okay, you tend to then go and have a bowel movement. Why? Because now your body's moving. It's supposed to be in movement. And that's just one basic thing. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. I really believe that wherever you are in the line of whether you are trying to start something, in the middle of doing whatever you're doing, because we were like ending January and maybe you're just about getting ready to fall off the wagon, so to speak, with that goal you had on January 1st. But hear me out. When it comes to like moving your body, it could be on so many different levels. Like I said, it could be on a certain line where maybe you are trying to go ahead and lose weight, but maybe you just want to build muscle, right? Build your strength, your core, your balance. Guys, that's so important. Even as you get older, I'm there. Guys, I'm approaching 60 this summer. And one thing I've noticed about balance, that even something as simple as trying to put on your pants, let's say, or a pair of shorts while standing up, it sounds like it's commonsensical, right? But as you get older, you don't work on your balance. Oh my gosh, something that becomes such a simple task can become a challenge. And then all of a sudden you find yourself having to sit down to put these pieces of article on your body. It's insane. And that's when I started to pay attention. So I'm not going to be running a marathon anytime soon. That's just who I am. I'm at a place where I want to make sure that I'm just constantly moving my body, even if it is just 3 times a week. Okay, maybe that's all I can do. Maybe that's all you can do. Let's start off with the first topic. I said fun. All right, we got to do something that's gonna get you motivated to do it. Just think back of when you were a kid. Something as simple as jumping rope. I saw this one girl on a reel the other day, and she said she just started to just jump rope because it reminded her as a little girl, right? And starting to jump rope, literally get a rope and jump rope for like 2 minutes, turned into something that she started to do every single day. And she wasn't aiming to lose weight, but she did. And she also helped her body regain that strength. So my whole thing is just finding something that's fun, that you find that it's fun, because if it isn't fun and it becomes a to-do thing, you will fall off. I know. I try to do something as simple as walking, because I know that Walking I can either do while I'm listening to a podcast or some music, or maybe even talking to a friend on the phone for like 20 minutes. The time goes faster. It doesn't feel like you're getting that walking in, and you do it and you feel so much better. Like something like dancing. Think about it. Whether you are signing up to go to like maybe a Zumba class or just even in your own living room, right? Just make a little bit of space. And there's so many YouTube videos out here with music that you can dance to. Maybe you're an 80s kind of girl like I am, and just put on some of that 80s music and just move your body. It's amazing how 10 minutes can just go just like that. And you're moving your body to some music. It doesn't have to be specifically to like a genre of music, like a Zumba class, right? And then the gym thing, I know it becomes more of a task, right? Like when you're like trying to say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, because half the time is, and the battle is getting to what you're going to do. So sometimes maybe you just have to just make sure that you've got your workout clothes ready and on, so that you will be able to do the activity you need to do for your body, right? For where you're at in your strength level, in your resistance level. Like, you will know for you. But my whole point is making it accessible, right? So anyway, let's get back on. So many things, guys, that you can do for fun. Okay, let me kind of throw some stuff at you, okay? How about water aerobics? If you have a pool, the easiest thing to do is get in there. It is going to burn calories, but not have your joints feel like they're being punished. You know what I mean? Like running, right? It's a pounding on your knees and what have not on your back. Being in the water is such a lightweight where you can move every part of your body. I was a testament to this. I did this, I believe it was like 2 summers ago, and I need to get back into this. I think for me, in my place where my health is, anything in the water really helps. Not only just to burn those calories, but to move every inch of my body. When I first started, and let me tell you, you will be sore, but it's fun. And let's keep it in that aspect, right? If you find water activity, this will be fun. You will not look at it as a workout, but you will notice, especially in the beginning, areas of your body that you will be sore. And that will attribute to that. You're like, I didn't even know I had a muscle in that area, but it's being worked on, right? Through a fun aerobic in the water. It is so much fun. I love the water aerobics. Okay, so moving on to another thing. Think about Pilates. I don't know. They have a beginner's Pilates, because I know Pilates can be very, it could be difficult. It can. The advanced are very, very difficult. But I'm talking about beginners. Again, you can plug it in here on YouTube. Look in your neighborhood, local neighborhood, of maybe who is giving out classes. Some of them are very inexpensive. Sometimes even, again, in just your neighborhood community, there may be something there for you that you can kind of plug yourself into. But start off very small, beginners Pilates. It will help you with so much, with your core. It will help you with balance, and also with the losing weight, because you'd be surprised how much you perspire when you're trying to focus on movement, like purposeful thing as far as fun. Now, I personally don't find fun in this, but you may. If you're a person that loves to be out in the yard gardening, okay? And I'm not talking about mowing the lawn, although you can burn some calories there, but I'm talking about gardening, getting some flowers and pulling weeds and fixing your flower bed. And there's a lot of squatting and reaching, and you would be surprised. There was a time, I want to say maybe about 5 years ago, we had a rental. We had someone that came out to do like the majority of like the lawn, but there were a lot of weeding that needed to be taken care of, like in between the pretty bush areas that they had. And we were out there, I mean, my husband and I, for an entire morning. Let me tell you, I felt like I was at the gym for like an hour, if not more. You, again, squat down a lot, you're reaching, you're pulling bags. I mean, you can get a good, and again, keeping in mind, if this is your idea of fun, incorporate that as part as being your maybe weekly or twice a week of getting out into your garden. You will be moving. So I hope that kind of gives you a few ideas as far as like what to do to incorporate some kind of movement for your body, right? That's fun. And if you have some that I didn't mention and that you do, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say. Let's talk about being intentional with scheduling this pocket of time to get your body moving. Okay, I'm going to try to stick to that word as far as doing this activity. Let's just think about how important it is just to move the body. And listen, I am really preaching to myself probably more than you, because I believe that, kind of like with writing things down in a journal, when I say it out loud, it just becomes true to me. Something I know I need to listen to. I need to pay attention to my own words. So scheduling this pocket of time to moving your body. Let me read to you a quote that I heard, and it just kind of sat with me. It was just an interesting quote, and I thought it fit appropriate to this. And it says, being intentional beats motivation. It's hard to get motivated, but if you set your mind on being intentional, on scheduling that time in, that's far outweighs being motivated, because that emotion just is like a roller coaster, right? But being intentional, being mindful and intentional, and scheduling it, putting on your schedule, just to make it just as an important appointment with yourself, even if it's just 15 minutes of your time. Think about just how quickly that can take place. Maybe for some of you, it could be easier in the morning, and you kind of just get it out of the way. Maybe you do have more time in the evening. Your mornings are starting way too early, and you're like, okay, I can't fit it. I can't get up any earlier than I do. Okay, maybe then those 10-15 minutes could be at the end of your day. You have to find what's, again, right for you. I don't know your situation, your dynamic of family, whether your children are young, but I know for me, I'm an empty nester. It's just my husband and myself. And so I can find more pockets in my schedule to put those 15, 30 minutes, right? So kind of look and see the whole thing is, if you do not have it on your schedule, it just truly doesn't take the importance it does. And it falls away at the wayside. Think about also, I heard this and it just stuck with me. Thinking about anchoring that activity, that movement that you're going to do, to an existing habit that you do. Okay. It could be, again, in the morning, maybe after your cup of coffee, like that's going to be the thing you're going to do with no exception. You're going to get that activity in there right after your cup of coffee. You have your cup of coffee every single morning, pretty much at the same time. It's a habit. So tag on that habit, that activity. It's going to make it a lot easier to stick to that schedule that you're going to then have for it. Again, it doesn't have to be every day. It could be every other day. It could be twice a week, whatever your time allows. The whole point is just to get it scheduled. The other thing is having an exact time. I think that, not to kind of veer off to another subject, but it's kind of almost like the importance of sleep, right? And that if you stick to having your sleep pattern at a certain time, your body then is going to get the proper rest that it needs, right? It's like it knows that by 11 o'clock, I'm just putting a time out there, your body is already like in bed, just getting ready to just go to sleep every day, same time. And it's the same thing with like your activity. Your body will become used to, programmed, right, in a sense, to do that activity at, you fill in the blank, 7 in the morning, let's say, or 6 in the evening, but attach it to a time. This will make that activity along with the fun, just more capable of it happening. It just makes sense to put the exact time, because instead of saying also, think about that. Oh, tomorrow at some time, I'll do that. I'll do that specific activity. It almost just doesn't give you that sense of accountability, right? No, it's on the schedule. At what time? Don't just say tomorrow at whatever time, but like put a time, attach a time to it. These little steps, again, once they are in place, it just becomes automatic. And it seems like it's a lot of work up front, but this is for someone that's just really struggling to maintain, and again, I'm talking to myself, to maintain that, whatever that activity is, because all of these little things in the beginning, it feels like it's a chore in a sense, but it becomes a habit. It becomes very fluent with everything else that you do, but they're just like little pieces of things that will help you attain that activity level, that movement, whatever it is that you're choosing to do to move your body. If you are the type of person that gets easily bored with doing just one thing, and this is why, going back to the first tip, as far as it being fun, it's crucial, because even the fun things, after a while, if you're doing the same thing over and over, not to all, but maybe to some, may feel like you're falling into the trap of boredom, right? Alternate it so it doesn't become that for you. Maybe you can do, out of the 3 days of the week that you're choosing whatever activity, to do something different, you know, going back to the things that I shared. Maybe it's jumping rope one day. Maybe it's going to the pool and doing the aerobics, right? But doing something different and just keeping it interesting so that you're not having that decision fatigue, you know? It just takes the guesswork out of it. Okay, and this also falls to me, this is like my biggest struggle. And this is where the whole scheduling, whether you're not actually taking a pen to a paper to schedule, but it still falls under the schedule category, is laying your clothes out, your workout clothes, whatever that is, out the night before. I think visually that helps someone who is a visual person. You immediately know that when you get up and you take care of those first steps, as far as like washing up, those clothes are there, they're seen, and you put them on. If you're choosing to do that, right? In the morning, first thing. Same thing goes at the end of the day. Once you've gone about your day and it's time to get your workout in, whatever those clothes are, leave them out where they're seen. It will make that decision to do that on that day so much easier. You're like, oh yeah, I got to get it done. I have to get that done. Let me put those on. Once you do, that next step will flow into moving into that, whatever you're going to do to have your body move. I know that's a huge one for me. I feel like I have to have those clothes out the night before and know that I'm not messing around. I'm not going to just linger around all half the morning again in my sleepwear. Nope. Washing up, putting on those clothes, and I'm going to get it done, whether it's in the house or getting outside. So for me, that's a huge one. I hope before I move on to the last one, which is stretching, let me just say one more thing when it comes to movement and finding that activity for you, is make a promise to yourself. Make a true promise to yourself that this is something that you're going to do for your health. Think about, if you made that promise to your best friend, would you break that promise with her? Chances are you are not, right? You honor and respect that person. You wouldn't do that to them. Give yourself that same treatment. I think that we sometimes will just don't think that that's important enough. And if we really look at it that way, that you're making a promise to yourself that you're going to do this, and make it realistic. Don't put something out there like, I'm going to get out there 5 days a week. No, if that's not real for you, then don't do that, because you're going to disappoint yourself. You want to be true to yourself and saying, I'm going to go ahead and move my body. And maybe I'm going to start with just doing it 2 times a week. But keep that promise to yourself. You're so worth it. Even if it's just, like I said, 5 minutes at a time. Before you know it, you're going past those 5 minutes and you've been out doing your fun activity 15, 30 minutes, and it just becomes something in your lifestyle. Okay, moving on to stretching, our final topic. That's part of activity, believe it or not. I didn't really think that stretching could be activity or exercise, but guys, movement. It's all about movement. I have an autoimmune disease, and it is called scleroderma. What it is like a tightening of my skin, but it also is doing a number internally, like to my organs. Everything is just kind of like stiffening in a sense. And talk about that being a problem when it comes to my muscle, my joints, like all of that is being affected. And I had a doctor tell me one day, and it was one of those kind of like light bulb, truly like aha moments for me. She said, you want to be able to do things for yourself for as long as you can. And, you know, you think the basics, guys, you know, like truly the basics, like going to the bathroom, guys, and wiping yourself. I mean, talk about being humbled if that's something that you're having someone to do for you, right? But if you have a disability that can worsen, the best thing you can do is to make sure that what you do have is currently being stretched, moved for the flexibility. And so that's why stretching to me has become probably a priority more than anything else. And so the doctor basically said, you know, there's certain movements that you feel like you should be able to do. And if you start to see that being a problem, then you've got to, it should be like an internal alarm. And so she was like, you know, moving my arms up, moving them out, moving them to my mouth, feeding myself, right? Moving them back, wiping myself, like truly the basic things of one taking care of themselves. And so, guys, I went ahead and I just invested in like these, and I'm sure you've seen them, but they are these bands, okay? They are these bands that come color, coded. And so you have some that are small, that are a little bit tighter when it comes to making those stretches, right? There's so many. Again, this isn't about doing something specific for you. I'm not going to get into the whole details. There's a gazillions of videos out there that people use these bands for that. Find one that's going to be great for you, maybe a starter, beginner's one. But my whole point of just bringing this up is that it has truly helped me in staying very flexible and being able to maneuver my body. I had a frozen shoulder probably about a year and a half ago. The worst experience, one of the worst experiences. I mean, as you're getting older, you start to realize all these little creaks and pains and what have not. But not being able to use like your arm and not being able to like bring it up to a certain level was insane. You know, like it surprises you how much you realize then at that point, the need of that disability now that can truly help in so many different ways. It can help with your posture if you're doing them correctly. It can help with your core, with your balance. Again, there's certain movements on how you can use these bands around your ankles. It just allows you to work on your balance, okay? The other thing is it reduces even just your normal aches and pains, guys. Like if you are someone that maybe stands a lot, or you sit a lot, or even if you have stress, these bands, if you haven't read up, just Google. Google all the things that the benefits of using these bands for your body, for your flexibility, for movement, for all of the things, guys. So these bands are amazing when it comes to, okay, guys. So I just want to say, I want to take a few minutes to just say this, and I hope that this just sits with you, sits in on your mind, on your heart. But every stretch, step, and gentle exercise is an investment. It's an investment in your independence, your confidence, and the quality of life. You don't have to move fast or hard. Just be consistent. Just be consistent in small movements done daily. It creates lasting strength. As we age, think about this. As we age, movement becomes less about appearance and more about living fully and with joy. I hope that this has helped you in some way, and that you can tuck this little video away, maybe come back to it, listen to it again. That made a lot of sense for me. I think I'm going to implement that, and I hope it does. And if it does, and you're looking forward on doing these things, or maybe you have some things that you'd love to share that's helped you move your body a little bit more, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for being here so much. I appreciate every one of you who watch the video fully through. Please subscribe to this channel, and next week I'm going to share with you a basic skincare and makeup routine that fits just for you. Okay, I will catch you next week. Until then, have a great one. Love you.